Hi folks, this is Rahul with MySmartPrice.com, and today we are checking out the Lenovo Vibe P1 in this detailed review. Lenovo recently added two new smartphones to its Vibe lineup, the Lenovo Vibe P1 and a less expensive Vibe P1M. Both primarily focused on providing good battery life. Packing a 5000 mAh battery, the Vibe P1 promises to offer great battery life. We got an opportunity to spend a week with the Vibe P1. Let us find out in our review how the device fares in real-world usage. The Vibe P1 has a curved design similar to that of the Moto X Play. As a result, holding the device is quite comfortable. It's really impressive that even after packing a massive 5000 mAh battery, Lenovo has managed to restrict the phone's thickness to 9.9mm. Moreover, it weighs only 189 grams. That said, one-handed usage is still a bit cumbersome thanks to the 5.5-inch display. The Vibe P1 features a metal unibody design which is quite reminiscent of the HTC flagships. A 5.5-inch Full HD display dominates the front part of the phone. The 5-megapixel front-facing camera is placed on the top right of the display with an LED notification light to its left. The earpiece is located at the center of the top portion of the display, followed by a proximity sensor and an ambient light sensor. The Vibe P1 has a hardware home button in between the two capacitive buttons. These two capacitive buttons are backlit. Interestingly, the hardware home button also acts as a fingerprint scanner. The Vibe P1 is one of the few phones which has a fingerprint scanner considering its price point. The top left edge of the device has a port for the headphone jack with a secondary microphone for noise cancellation towards the right edge. A microUSB port rests on the bottom with two grills on either sides. The one towards the right is the mono speaker, while the one towards the left houses the primary noise cancellation microphone. A volume rocker key can be found on the right edge with a power button just below it. The left edge has a slider which activates the power saving mode on sliding it upwards. The rear of the Vibe P1 has a neat, soft matte finish with curved design. A 13-megapixel camera rests on the top of the rear along with the dual-tone LED flash and an NFC label just below it. Also, a neat Vibe and Lenovo branding is clearly visible on the rear. As mentioned earlier, the device has a unibody design, meaning the back panel is non-removable. However, the top part of the rear is removable and it has two slots for holding the nano SIM. Just towards the left of these two slots is another slot for holding the microSD card. We felt that the placement of SIM slots is a little weird. Moving on to the display. As mentioned earlier, the front of the phone is dominated by the 5.5-inch Full HD display. With a resolution of 1080p, the Vibe P1 has a pixel density of 401 ppi. The display is protected from scratches by the Corning Gorilla Glass 3 technology. However, the lack of oleophobic coating makes the display prone to smudges and fingerprints. The legibility is just about average. Moreover, the screen is quite reflective as well. In our time with the phone, we felt that the display is slightly dim. Under the hood of the phone is an octa-core 64-bit Snapdragon 615 chipset with 4 ARM Cortex-A53 cores clocked at 1.5 GHz and the remaining 4 ARM Cortex-A53 cores clocked at 1.21 GHz. There is an Adreno 405 GPU to take care of the graphics. The device comes with 2 GB of RAM coupled with ample 32 GB of onboard storage, which can be further expanded up to 128 GB via microSD card. Additionally, the device also supports USB OTG. One notable addition to the hardware is the fingerprint scanner, which is actually rarely seen in mid-range phones. Connectivity options include Bluetooth 4.1, NFC, dual-band Wi-Fi and AGPS. The device is 4G ready for Indian bands. However, only one SIM can be used on 4G LTE at a time while the other remains on 2G. The Vibe P1 runs Android 5.1 Lollipop with a layer of Lenovo's Vibe UI on top of it. The UI seems to be a little more customized when compared to its older versions. Moreover, the Vibe UI offers an app drawer, a feature which is rarely seen in Chinese smartphones. That said, there were occasional UI lags which were annoying at times. The device is preloaded with a few social networking apps like Facebook, Twitter and Skype. It also comes preloaded with apps like Evernote and UC browser. Let's talk about the camera on the Vibe P1 now. A 13-megapixel rear camera has now become standard for mid-range smartphones. The Lenovo Vibe P1 is no exception. It has a 13 megapixel rear camera coupled with a dual tone LED flash. The camera app opens quickly and doesn't lag much. Tap to focus works well and doesn't take much time either. The images captured had good depth, which was really impressive. Moreover, the color reproduction was accurate most of the times. Also, images captured were fairly detailed, especially the ones captured in sunlight. Images captured indoor also turned out to be decent. Low light images had a little noise, but even they looked fairly decent. The front shooter also does a good job. Here are a few sample images taken using the phone. The Vibe P1 is capable of recording 1080p videos. The videos we captured were decent as well. The Vibe P1 has a dedicated player for videos. However, it lacks a dedicated music player. For audio playback, one has to use the Google Play Music. It has a single loudspeaker at the bottom. It manages to produce loud sound as well, but the sound quality is average and definitely could have been better. When it comes to video playback, the phone played all of our 1080p videos without any stutter. We played our regular 1080p test videos at 30 and 60 frames per second, and there were no signs of lags or stutter. In the time we had the Vibe P1, the phone offered us a decent experience. The device managed to handle multitasking quite smoothly. That said, we did witness a few UI lags once in a while. The performance of the device in our regular benchmark test was nothing great. It scored a modest total in the Antutu benchmark test in the 64-bit mode. We did not witness any frame drops or stutters even at high graphic settings while playing graphic-intensive games like Asphalt 8 and Modern Combat. Do note that the device does heat up quickly while playing graphic-heavy games. One interesting feature of the Vibe P1 is the fact that the device can be used as a power bank to charge other devices. The call quality on the device was average and we did not witness any signal drops either. Moving on to the battery life. The battery life is what makes the Vibe P1 stand out from other mid-range smartphones. As mentioned earlier, the device packs a massive 5000 mAh battery. Lenovo also includes a rocket charger with the phone, which supports its rocket charge technology, which in simple terms is fast charging. The device took 1 hour and 40 minutes to reach full charge from 0 to 100%, which is impressive considering the size of the battery. In this aspect, the Vibe P1 is clearly the winner compared to the Marathon M5, as the latter took more than 5 hours to reach full charge. Lenovo has provided a dedicated button to turn the power saving mode on. It labels the button as one key power saver button. The Lenovo Vibe P1 is available online for Rs 15,999 and is definitely not a bad phone to recommend if battery life is your primary concern. It offers decent performance with amazing battery life. The primary competition to the P1 comes from the Gionee Marathon M5, which has a larger 6020 mAh battery. However, we still feel the P1 is an overall better device. That was the review of the Vibe P1 from Lenovo. In case you have any queries and questions regarding this particular device, please do let us know in the comment section below. This is Rahul Srinivas signing off for MySmartPrice.com.